Hello! You caught me putting lip gloss on just before I came on here. I was busy drinking. Okay, it's cocktail and cards, or sometimes for some of us girls, it's tea and cards. And for me, it's tea and cards. So I was just chugging my tea, and I thought, oh, I should freshen my lips up. I'm already changed into my jammies. It's a really cold 6 degrees, so it shouldn't be so cold as it seems. Sadly, it's cloudy. So in case you're not in the know, because I certainly was not, and I didn't know I didn't even know. I didn't know I didn't even know. The comet that I have been seeing, I've been seeing it. I've been seeing some people posting pictures of this cool comet, and I'm like, okay, I got to see the rainbow, so I'm super blessed. Oh my gosh, so thrilled with my rainbow. But there's a comet. And I'm like, how are you supposed to keep up with all this stuff going on? The rainbow is like, so I was laughing because, hi Carol, 100 years ago, let's see, in 1997, so in the last century, I remember going on a walk, a hike, a 7-day hike actually, with down in Argentina, and a fellow named Javier was taking about 7 of us gals out on a trip, like this overnight excursion. I don't remember setting up the tents, but I'm pretty sure we must have set up tents because I know I slept in a tent, and it was just Javier and us. So I must have been helping set up tents. Anyways, long and the short of this story, we went to a glacier we were down in like around, not Perito Moreno, but there was glaciers where we were down in Argentina, and we were way up in Bariloche, so I'm not sure where there was a glacier, but anyways, and it was a thundering glacier because it fell, like it calved. I'm sorry, I don't know the story very well, but I'm telling you, I am a card maker. I'm not a storyteller. That might be the problem. Anyways, I'm going to make something with you today. I had a couple seconds late because I get overwhelmed. I'm so lucky that I have quite a lot of stuff, and I'm a little overwhelmed as to what actually to share with you. So I'm Lori LaRose. I have Active Stamping here on Facebook as well as on Instagram. My Instagrams take, when they take my card that I create with not knowing what I'm starting with each evening, and they put it together in like a minute. So if you are a fast forwarder on the replays, hurrah, yay, you might want to go check out my Instagram and definitely leave some clicks, and that way then I'll be like, oh, you know what, I should do more, because people like that. You know what I mean? But you're totally welcome to come over here, watch our replays. Welcome. Let us know that you're watching the replay. Say, hey, watching the replay. Hello. Hey, Sharon. And so, so I'm going to make a card, but I don't know what. Anyways, so I'm going to complain about this darn comet. It's totally cloudy. Somebody posted a picture. I thought, oh, I missed it. That's sad. Didn't realize it's been going on for like a whole week and some. I'm like, what? You mean I could have seen it like yesterday and the day before and the day before? I also would have gone out at about 11 o'clock. So thanks, Allie. She told me, no, like it's been going on. Probably about the 20th, it will have finally faded away. And it's going to be cloudy until then, supposedly. And it's early kind of evening. Like I needed to check it about half hour ago. And I did. I went out and it's cloudy on there. So I may not see it after all. Thanks for posting the pictures, you guys. I'm going to look at your pictures instead. Anyways, but so the story about Javier is that people were like, well, when is it going to thunder again? Like, when's it going to happen? He's like, I don't know. Like, it's not an amusement park. It'll happen when it happens. And that's what I think about this comet. Maybe it wasn't. I just was thinking about him. Partly because we're looking at making a trip down to Uruguay. And I did say to Carrie, we should go back to Bariloche. The streets are like lined in chocolate. It's fantastic. They actually have chocolate shops. It's like Banff, like it in Canada here. The main street is sort of like Banff, except that instead of all tourist, and maybe it's changed, but instead of all little souvenir shops, every single shop is a chocolate making shop, and they give away free samples. I was so happy to be there. No wonder I want to go back. Might not have been really what it was, but anyways. Okay, so Thursdays, I have started a little technique idea. Thanks to Keisha came up with the idea, and I'm following through with it. We were working with pastels, as they're formally called, but it's the ABCs of stamping with me, techniques. And we called these chalks back in the day. So I called this a chalk. I'm already missing one. What the heck? How can I be missing a chalk, for goodness sakes? All right, I'm going to pop you down. I'll show you sort of what I didn't make yesterday. And you get off, my mug will get off here. So cocktails and cards, if you have, that's a good segue. If you have your little cocktail with you, the girls play a drinking game. Go ahead and start joining them. When I lose stuff, you can drink. So clearly, I'm already losing stuff. All right, I'm gonna have a little sip. Prefer to do that off screen. And I will pop you down here. Okay, here we go. So yeah, I don't know. Can you see a chalk? Oh, chalk. So I worked with Versamark, and it's called Popping Pastels. In the old days, it was just called Get the Color on the Page. I started 22 years ago with Stampin' Up. I am celebrating my Stampiversary actually all month. Started in October last year, 22 years ago. And yeah, so if you want to drink, go ahead. It's a yellow I'm missing. So where is, how would I be missing a yellow? So yesterday, if you're interested in how to add color to everything, I started this one with the Coastal Cabana. I ended up adding, and I actually was thinking this was blueberry, but, because I'll show you, doesn't it look like blueberry? Yes, it does. It's actually Night of Navy, surprisingly. Anyways, I rubbed it over top like hours after I did it with you guys yesterday morning. So 10 a.m., generally speaking, I do Thursday mornings, this ABCs. On tonight, no, the ABCs was that. I think we were doing colors on this night, and I don't think I have anything planned. I have no idea where that yellow one is. It's a mystery. Back in the day, we used Q-tips and little brushes to transfer the thing. I was using my fingers yesterday. I now have just nicely and effectively cleaned my desk with my sleeves. That's awesome. This is that same blue without the Coastal Cabana underneath. And I also created brown yesterday from these colors. Brown from the red and the green. But, so we were scraping them. So go back and watch that replay if you didn't watch it. It's pretty fun. And now tonight we're on. So we use Versamark. I say that to myself because mentally I think one of these still needs to get cleaned. I cleaned them all quickly because that's important. I could work with what I have in front of me, or I can, oh, you know what? While I'm stalling and wondering, I've got a something here. Hang on one second. Look what I got in the mail. Dun, 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 dun. Hi, Betty. So I picked up this notebook. It's one of the new kits released. Stampin' Up is releasing kits each month. 2 new kits each month. And last month, I'm just trying to think. I know last month they released a Christmas one. I'm also very honest. I'm not sure that I love the one Christmas one so far. Simpler than what I like and different from the ones that they had last year. If you're local to me and you're like, dang, I wanted a Christmas one so bad. A, they might be releasing ones in November again, obviously, Christmas card making ones. B, I have a couple left over, so let me know if you need a Christmas card one and you're local. They're kind of crazy expensive to mail otherwise, I think. But anyway, so this is, what's it called? A look back kit. So I will pop this open, and then from there I will come up. So there's no stamps in this one, and of course stamping is my game, is the name of the game. Do 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 do. All right, so here we go. Here we go. So yes, I had a nice day today. I went swimming, and I talked to a fellow at the pool to see if they wanted to do a team building with stamping, because what's better than making stuff? I've worked with a couple different companies in town here making cards and neat little things basically with them. But anyways, okay, so this is the little book. Oops, I'm knocking you around here. And the paper feels nice. So totally just lined paper and dot matrix. I'm not sure how much you guys can see. there's some better light maybe. Graph, ooh, little something, something. So each page, I believe they said something like each page is unique. You're going to get a little bit of two-way tape so that you can stick things down. I think it's meant to have little photographs in here, so you'd be printing some photographs. 2 pages clearly of some different pieces. So I'm going on holidays to Victoria. I'm going to go visit actually Keisha on my way to watch my daughter row. So my oldest was rowing with the Calgary Dinos, the university team, for 5-6 years or whatever, and then is continuing to row with RCR, Calgary CRC, Calgary Rowing Club. Look at that pretty thing. So just a couple little strips to add to things. So just adding a little something something to make your book a little bit pretty, right? Okay, I'm going to throw that guy away and I'll keep those guys. I'm going to just pop these guys into here. That shows you what that was. So, yeah, so I'm excited, and part of me is thinking, oh, maybe I take this out and I scrapbook while I'm out there in the hotels at nighttime sometimes. Oh, it's really pretty, actually, you guys. I can't remember how many pages they said. Like, did I see 30 or 26? This would be nice. I could add this to here. If that's there, then maybe I just want to write a whole little story about something. I could talk about Javier. My other story on that was Carrie had proposed to me by then, and we were down. He was actually working, and we were down in Buenos Aires, and each weekend we went somewhere fun. And this would be kind of fun. Look at that. When I was on this trip, I was telling the girls were all excited in a Twitter. I was already on to be 30, but they were all younger than me, and they were like, oh, we could come and let's pretend we could be. Anyways, you had to be there to understand, but basically they were pretending they were going to be my bridesmaids, which was super fun. But I ended up having in my bouquet, I know I told this story once before on here, the Ulstramariums, freesias, and oh wait, and I think the last time I told this story as well, I had white freesias because I love them. I love the smell. Ulstramariums grew wild down there. And like pansies here, their little sweet faces would be peeking behind a tree. And so because of that trip, I actually had Ulstramariums in my bridal bouquet, and also remembered the girls that I had gone on my hike with. Carrie didn't come on the hike because he had to go back for meetings in the States. And he left his fiance stranded down there. No, I had flown down myself, and it's too expensive and too long of a flight. I don't really remember the length of the flight anymore, but looking at the flight to Uruguay, it's like 22, 26 hours. So I must have been on an airplane for 110 years then. Okay, so cute, all these fun things. So lots of little, I think this is called ephemera, even if it's not sticky. I think it's ephemera. So it's not sticky. You get to glue and dimensional all of this. I'm actually, okay, I would definitely, I guess they didn't want dimensionals because it's this, but I will tell you that you've got room because of the coil. And Betty is on here. She can kind of vouch 1 year. And I feel like I ran and looked for it once before, and it wasn't where it was supposed to be last time either. Now, let's see. Hi, Cheryl. How you doing? Cheryl, were you part of that club? We used to have what was called a This and That book. Was that the name of these? I think so. Yeah, I did exactly the same thing. I can turn down my heat though. Whew. I think they called it a This and That book. I did exactly the same thing a while ago. Maybe when they first announced this. I really have to find it. Anyways, we did a summer club and we filled the book. And a couple girls totally filled their book. Betty did an amazing job. She filled a lot, like nearly most of her book. And I just did basically I did the pages that I showed. I'm not going to pop these guys out because I'll probably lose them. So 2 more fancy folded or cornered pieces. Look at how pretty. Look at this. I do have to pull this out though. That is so pretty. This is really, 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 really pretty. It is on sale right now for about $30. And that's a fact jack. Look at. This is nice. So lots and lots of sheets. Like you definitely, I feel like there must be more than 30 of these. Holy mackerel, there is a lot of these, you guys. All right, I will speed up a little bit. And a little pocket. Oh, this will be handy. Oh, that's sad. That's going to get folded under. Oh, you can do it either or. Ooh. Oh. Anyways, a little pocket. So you can fold this whichever way you think you'd like. I obviously would fold it this way right now. I guess this will be I guess it's, never mind. I'm wrong with that. It's not there. It's a flap. So we'll put this on. We close this up. And you have a little flap. And you'd have that on there and you could slide things in there. Nice. And there's 2 more pockets on here. Some little tiny, these guys, dots, glue dots, a little bit bigger than you're used to, Keisha, if you're looking. And I'm going to see if I can see comments here. Cheryl said, likely but not sure where. When I got the kids to do, and I did it for the kids. Hi, Marlene. I'm sorry I didn't see you on there. And that's pretty. Look at this. Okay. I like it. All right. I will say this. If people are keen on it, I would work through this with somebody. If people want to buy and be like, can we join you? Oh, that reminds me. Tomorrow, I got to send out a Zoom for my girls. We're doing some of the scrapbooking kits together right now. So this is all French, which is, there's an English one as well. There's probably several languages. But this is kind of neat. I can give that to somebody that I know, so that's fun. And then there's also the English one. Sunshine, journey, today, hello. Cool, I love that. And then also, whew, that must be like German or Dutch. Schon, klein, hello, hello. Schoner, Schonster, I don't know what Schonster is. Das. Ich, dich. I think this is German. Tag. Anyway, so that's kind of cool. All right, I'll put that guy away. That's fun. This is fun. I like it. I'm very happy. Very, very happy with this. So all kits are on sale to the end of the month. If you would like to get some kits, let me know. I'm actually putting in an order. Oh, here, I can show you a couple sample pages if you were wondering. I can cheat and just be like, oh, look at what I made. I can't get it. Wait, I'm going to zoom in and pretend I did this. Scrapbook Club tomorrow morning. Yes, at 10. Pretend I made that tonight. Oh, look how beautiful. So yes, definitely the idea of this is to, do you know what I was going to do there? I was going to actually, I'm doing this to my camera. Like, okay, flip, I want the next picture. No, I got to show you the inside. So it does show a couple samples of how to put things together to get you started. So that's nice as a beginner kit. And there's a beginner starter page. So this is quite fun. That's nice. That's a cool idea. All right. So, all right. What's this little guy? What is that? Some little white piece of paper. Oh, you know what? That didn't come in the kit. Anyways, the reason I wanted to show you the little book was just to show that as these pages fill up, as you fill them up, this does get fatter. And it goes to about like easily like that. So it still stores really nicely on a shelf, but it's it works okay. There, I got to move it back a little tiny bit. All right. All right. I don't need to put that in there. I will put this in and get this out of the way. So that does not really solve what I was going to do today. Well, that's what I did. I have a sneak peek. No, I do have a sneak peek, but I put it away on purpose. So put it away. I feel like we need to go to Christmas practically, and it's so cold out. I totally could go to Christmas. Hold on, guys. Sorry. Yes, I am stalling over here. Nope. All right, have a drink. If you're part of the drinking club, go ahead and have a little cocktail. What I was looking for, I had Unbounded. I don't know where it went though. All right. All right. I'm going to color some of these Yuletides. These are super cute. We're going to do this instead tonight. I had Unbounded something. Unbounded. Just a minute. I'm going to find out what it's called. Unbounded Love. I got it very recently, and it's amazing. I will find it for you and show you. It's amazing dies, and so I was going to work with that tonight in my mind's eye. Page 55. But my mind's eye doesn't always come to fruition. These, look at all these beautiful, look at all of those. Kind of nice, eh? And then a bunch of really great words. And I did get the words. I did and ah with the words a little tiny bit, but I think there was 3 or 4 that I really liked. And the bottom line is in a bundle with the 10% discount that you get, it's kind of a plus. So, yeah. Okay. Whew. I don't have a lot of, I'm going to work with one of these that I didn't work with before, obviously, because he's still in here and he needs a little bit of color. He needs a little life. So, and I stamp and cut a couple of these out. When we're working with photopolymer, it's always a great idea to, oh, there's my yellow. Yay! All right. Okay, where'd the whole box go now? Here it is. So these are quite solid. You can pick them up and color with them all together, just coloring. And that's also fun, but there it is. All right. And you can, I had my, just a second. These guys, the blender pens out. I didn't like that quite as much as just coloring with a watercolor brush. So we explored a couple ways of using them, the chalks yesterday afternoon rather, yesterday morning, one of those days. All right, I'm going to move my tea. I'm a little afraid I'm going to spill it. That would be sad. And I need my black ink, which, look at me go right there. Handy schmandy. And away we go. I just saw a really neat, so I have a couple frames up on my wall, and I've been thinking, oh, I'd like to refresh that or this. And I was going to do it with the leaves constantly. And now, of course, it's time to move along from the leaves. So now I'm like, oh, maybe I'll do something with these. I have got my church here on the floor. Good gosh. Okay, I'm going to pick a tool I'm going to put back where it belongs. And I've got some words here that I'll put over here. My church I'll pick up. Oopsie-doo. Clearly he was on the floor. He's a little dusty. Must be a little dust on the bayou. No, dust on the... How does that song go? Must be. So my sister actually is in a real choir. I just pretend to sing what she actually is going to sing, and that she is, hey, I should definitely advertise for her. Anybody that's in Calgary area, any Calgarians handy here? Sorry, I have enough pieces of scrap, but they're all like this size. Enough pieces of white to sink a battleship. Here's a nice, big, huge chunkin' piece. If you live in Calgary, you'll then know where the Calgary Library is. The public library main, I'm 96% sure it's on the main library, yeah. There's stairs, and her cool choir is going to be singing songs. So they're doing Imagine and bum da bum 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 da bum 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 ba. What's that song? Name that tune. They're also doing, what was a couple other ones that she told me they were doing? Anyways, they're performing about 10 songs at least, and Time, I don't know. That's not good for me. I should know that. As I get coloring here, I might let you know. All right, so I'm going to just grab a color and begin. Dun, 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 dun. Kind of sad I nicked that a little tiny bit. I'm going to stamp him again. I don't know what I was doing, but I dragged him across or something. And there might have been, maybe there's a thin hair. That's possible. Okay, I'm just going to stamp him again. I have enough paper. I'll stamp him again and make him beautiful. Nice. You're like, he's upside down. I know. He's great. He likes to be upside down. All right. Do you know what? These would be kind of, oh, I've got an idea for a fall of these guys, but I'm going to do some blue. What is he? Dark. Perfect. So I'll be coloring for a little while. So if you want to go grab a cup of tea or a drink to join the drinkers, the game players, join us, hang out, watch, see what we're going to come up with. It's going to be a fancy fold. You're going to like it. And may as well sit back and relax. What else are you going to do on this cold, rainy day? Brr. I'll do a little, what do I call it all the time? Infomercial as I'm coloring. Every time I bring out my blends, I think the must-have blends, the ones that get lost and forgotten about, are the skin tones, which I use all the time for everything almost but skin tones practically, and I highly recommend them. I have a club that is really fun to be part of. It's your club. You're the funnest person in your life, aren't you? So you should join your own club. You should make your own club. Each time you purchase blends, the way I do it is I have you choose 4 blends, 4 sets of blends each month. You can buy them more often, especially often, I will tell you, traditionally, statistically, people buy 1 set, and then about, as soon as they get it practically, or even overlapping practically, about 2 weeks later, they're like, oh, and I need these colors too. Just to get started, they just kind of hurry along a little tiny bit. So you can finish it anytime within the 4 months. I know a couple times they buy the too fast, then they buy another one a month later, and then they wait right just about to the end of the 4 months, and then they buy the 4th. When you finish purchasing your 4th one, you get a shopping spree with me. I think it's as much. I'll say 25, and then you'll be really happy if it's 30. And after your second order, no, your first order, I think. No, your second order. I don't know. I guess your first order. I send along a little gift if you let me know. If not, then I'll touch base with you. But basically, yeah, touch base with me, get a host code, and you'll be off to the races. It's a really nice way to replenish colors that maybe we're running out, like your pool parties sometimes is a popular one. Shaded spruce right now is one that gets used up. Sometimes smoky slate for some people, depends on what you've been coloring. Or maybe you've never looked at the skin tones, and they really are lovely to have in your kit. So there's that idea. And yeah, so you pace yourself. There's no commitment per se. You just don't get any prizes if you don't finish the 4th one. Then no harm, no foul off my nose kind of thing. It's like, okay, well, there you go. So it wasn't, you're not dependent on everybody finishing. It's just you. And if you're like, oh, I don't think I want to buy any more, which I can't believe because that's only like 16. And most people then are like, can I do it again? And I'm like, yes, you can when they very first start, right? It's kind of nice because you get 4 colors at a time. So right away, if, like I said, most people do buy the 8 quite quickly within a couple, 3 weeks of each other kind of thing. And then they're arriving. And if you buy them, sorry, I'm just trying to think what color to do this. I have no idea what I was going to say. Oh, but then you know which ones you think you're missing. Do you know, it's a nice way to get going with it. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense, right? It's like, and then you use them. Whereas if you bought, 12 of them all at once, you're a little overwhelmed by what, it's like, oh, I forgot I had that color or whatever. There were still colors that I was getting. Like just recently I got Calypso, right, I think? And I just got Cajun recently as well. Because really, if you're not going to use it, you don't need to have it. This steeple's going to be that color. And so is this roof. All right. That's pretty. I think the last one I made was sort of like this. So now I got to decide, is the snow on the top or is the snow on the bottom? I think it's on the bottom. I'm going to color the roof here and pretend the other part's snow. I think it can be either way, but just right there looks like that's a snow, like it's melted off there, which I will say, this is, if you're a realtor, they would tell you that this is shoddy. You don't want to buy a house that has a melted roof like that because it means, yeah, you know what. Right, I'm just going to look, see if my sister told me the time. I have enough things in front here. Where is she be? Little Rose. Little Rose. What's she saying about this? Cool choir. Somebody asked about the time. Let's see what she answered. What time? 2 p.m. 2 p.m. 2 p.m. 2 p.m. tomorrow. Saturday, if you're watching. Saturday, the 19th probably. If Saturday's the 19th of October. If you're watching the replay fast enough and you're in Calgary, go and listen. It will be fantastic, I think. Okay, this is just going to be one plain dark tree because I just went crazy with that color. All right. Oy, oy, oy. Ooh, I'll use these. There's a little bit of shaded spruce. Must be a little dust on the... I don't know what that one is that I'm singing. Okay, looks nice. And then if you want to add a little bit of yellow for a window, yesterday I was painting yellow windows on my lanterns. Ta-da! Yeah, you can be crazy too. All right, I'll pop back over and see if I can see you guys commenting. So what are you all up to for the weekend? I'm going to go swimming. I'm going to head into the city. And I have my flight out. So this is where a little Wink Estella is really nice. Oi! I took the wrong... Ooh! So it's very juicy. I don't know why. But I'm going to put it everywhere there's snow. And that will add so much. So this I'm just going to do along... Ooh, that's a path, actually. Do you think these people cleared their path? Seems like maybe they did. I'm not going to worry about it, though. I'm going to pretend like they didn't do a very good job of cleaning their path so far anyways. Hello, Sheila. How are you doing? And yeah, Marlene, you're right. Alexina, how are you doing? How are you doing? Okay, I'm going to cut this out. You just about got to drink. You can drink if you want. I almost didn't have this. I'm going to just put a little bit of curve in here. I was thinking when I stamp that so close to this, sometimes it's kind of nice to keep this so that it's I don't know if I have mine. I did, you know, evidently I like this color because I know I did it the same color. I'm not quite sure where it would be. I can't picture it on the mantle anymore, and I can't think where I put this card actually to be able to show you the other one that I made of this. It turned out really pretty, but I'm not quite sure where it is. So you'll have to scroll back and see it. But I basically had these a little bit longer so that I'll do it with the next piece basically. All right, not this one yet either. It's going to get cut out too. I'm going to do this. I've been wanting to have a pink house forever. I know that it's kind of weird to have pink houses. Dark petunia pop. Unless you're in Newfoundland, which I think then I told a whole story about Newfoundland, didn't I? I do believe. And I think I'd said the story. So I was really, really lucky to go to Ireland this summer to catch up with my daughter who was over there digging bones. She's going in to be a archaeologist. And she'd found the coolest opportunity to go and dig bones over in Spain. And so when she was flying home, she was like, you know, the cheapest flights out of Spain, ha ha ha, are from Dublin. I was like, Dublin? I should come join you. So I did. Da, 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 da. How lucky am I? And I'm gonna do this roof with the same brown, I think. No, we're not. I'm gonna do it gray again. So we hung out together for about a week, and one of the places we stopped at, I think, sorry if I'm telling the story again to the same people, but we were sitting there and I looked out and I was like, this is bad, but this really reminds me of Newfoundland. And she laughed, and so she Googled it, and she's like, well, Newfoundland is the most Irish spot in the world other than Ireland itself. I was like, get out. It's actually, people came over. And so all the painted houses from Newfoundland, because I hadn't noticed the last time I went, yeah, there was painted houses. Like I do know that, but it just doesn't seem, I don't know. It just didn't seem quite the same. I'm just painting Winca Stellar like a crazy woman here. And it really, I hope you can see how pretty, it just changes the whole thing. I hope you can see that. It's kind of like magic. So this fellow I was telling about the team building today, I was like, seriously, because I know he's got boy lifeguards, right? And so I think he was thinking, team building, what about the boys? Like, this needs to be for everybody. Well, A, most of your staff are girls. And B, I said, the boys actually love it. When I'm stamping with them in school, it's the boys. Until they get it squashed out of them, they are as creative or more creative than many of the girls. And they love it. The one little boy is the one that my heart forever. He leans forward to me after he stamped. He's like, it's like magic. I was like, I know. It is so like magic. For 22 years, it's been like magic. I like my pink house. It's a little brighter than I meant it to be. If I was really, really concerned, which I'm not too concerned, but I could take the lift and add a little lift in there. But they just got a fresh paint job. It's brilliant. It's a little bit bright. Okay, I'm going to cut this across here, and I'll have to add that in. Again, I think it's kind of nice if you plan a little tiny bit more than I do of how you'd like to have these to layer, and then you would just have them seamlessly build the scene. The base would be part of the whole snow part as opposed to, but I think I'll be able to tuck it into the folds okay too. Remember, I promised you a fancy fold. So what I do need is a couple more houses. And as you can see, they're not here. What have I done with them? So yes, drinking games, let them commence as I'm like, all right, where are my houses? That's the church. I could do this house again because you know what? I'm from Calgary. Oh, there's a house. Woohoo me. I'm from Calgary and all the houses are the same in the subdivisions, aren't they? It's why actually, without giving away where Marlene lives, Marlene lives in an older neighborhood, which is beautiful. We live in an older neighborhood there too. It's why we chose to live there. Totally, is because no two houses on the same street look the same, or even in the whole area. Hey, we like where we live, don't we? That's beautiful. We live in the most beautiful area. Mature trees. Okay, maybe a little bit too mature. We had to take all ours down. That was no fun. I didn't chop them down, but I'm talking the expense. All right, this little guy, if I'm going with these guys, now I need another color to go with this. I do want this neighborhood to look beautiful. Oh, you know what I used last time was sea foam. And it was really, really, really pretty. But, all right. I'm going to go with Calypso Coral because that's what popped out at me. If this is Calypso, is this Calypso or Cajun? That's what I was thinking. Kind of was thinking I'd go Cajun. Let's go Cajun instead. Calypso is a little bit... We had a neighbor at our place that has a salmon. He had a salmon house. I think it got repainted. It's now yellow. And I think in Rocky here, I think they changed theirs. There used to be a salmon place in town here too. Let's just say, thank goodness they changed it. Salmon's not great. Sorry if your house is salmon. So I'm just putting in some dark areas. Oh, stabbing myself. FYI, public service announcement, PSA. When you are closing your, these guys, just be aware that although it's a square thing, there's a little tiny circle in there. I don't know if you can see it at all. And when you're putting away your blends, just be careful how you put them away. You don't want to squish your ends. If it's not kind of going on, you might be off to one side or another in there. Just saying. So I don't know how the girls that listen to the messages, the comments, if they have to refresh constantly. I've got my computer app right now. And I don't know that you guys are talking amongst yourselves because you can. But I feel like, oh yeah, I think that you're not talking. I think if you guys flood that with some comments, everybody say where they're from really fast. And then I'm just curious if it moves because they seem to be interactive when they're watching. And I wouldn't mind being interactive. When I'm coloring, it's hard because I'm busy coloring like a fiend. And I'm trying to speed up. So my Instagrams are so cool. There's one with a cup that I do. I love it. I always try and send you guys over to it. And I'm always like, when you hit it, say, I found it. Because it colors and it goes, and it's all colored and it's beautiful. And it wasn't, I colored it about as slow as I was coloring this, if not slower. But it, I speed it up, right? So it's like, it's super fun anyways. You're too tired tonight? Is that what you said? Your houses are old. 1963? Do you know, I wonder if mine actually was mine actually from 56? Is mine really old? Now that you say 63, I'm wondering. I was going to do, I thought I was going to do like dark Cajun on the edges there, but I don't think so. I'm going to do something crazy. I love green trim. It's going to be crazy. Oh, well, let's be crazy. It's just paper. 1963. And yeah, I think maybe mine is from 56 now that you're saying that. I wouldn't have ever said that, honestly. I can't say that I just said that's what mine is from, but I think it is. I think you're right. 56. We had a few crazy renters in ours, so we had to facelift ours a little tiny bit. Ours used to be painted lime green and orange. It was an Italian family. Yes, you're allowed to laugh. Go ahead. Cheryl, are you tired because you're being too much of a girl guide? Too busy with girl guiding? Is it making you tired? All right, that's nice. And then back in with the brown again. May as well make everybody have matching brown doors. What did I say about the brown door man? The number 200. Oh, I'm doing 400. The last neighborhood had number 200 doors. I think that was the company's name. The 200 door house or 200 door store. Plus it rhymed. I never know if this is a blind or whatever the thing would be called over top of a window, but... Oh, and I didn't make these all nice and warm. Let's add some. So this is daffodil. Lemon lolly also would be very nice inside of these. And, okay, what are your feelings on this? obviously you don't have every light on in every house. So what do you do with the other two? Like, if you're trying to be conservative and not, you live in a house with 2 kids that already went to bed, what do you do with those? They'd be black. Do I paint them black? Question? Fair question, isn't it? I think it's a fair question. I am going to put some of this stuff on here. And I'm going to make some trees. You've seen enough house coloring to sink a battleship yet? I do know that I need to do more for what I have in mind. I got to find out who the lady was that did this cool card, but I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you something. Better go to bed early, Grandma. Enjoy your time. Oh, you had the kids coming tomorrow. Oh, Cheryl, you're already tired. And you got them coming? Ah! Cheryl's a good grandma. Marlena's a good grandma too. Hey, hun? I'd say this. Anybody that makes good cookies and stuff for kids is good in my books. Period. The end. She's a good friend too. Ha, ha, ha. Marlene makes a really good lemon loaf. She's a good customer too, because when I drop off stuff, or when my daughter drops her off stuff, she sends her home with little treats, and it's like, She was laughing. Genevieve was laughing the other day because she dropped off. She didn't think she was going to see you. I don't know quite what she was thinking. Like, I don't know why she didn't think she'd see you. But anyways, she was still wearing her jammies or whatever, hey? I just about put my sharp scissors in my drawer. That could have been fatal. All right, that looks kind of nice. That is a crazy house. Okay, this is going to be a crazy card. I do need to, I found this, and so it's perfect. I do need to have a couple trees cut out. Hang on a second here. I'm going to use this crazy piece. And I don't know where that word comes from. This. Oi, I'm just throwing stuff around now. Shayla used to laugh at me because she could see me throwing. She used to tell me where everything was. If I threw it, she'd be like, you just threw it to the right-hand side. You threw it to the left-hand side. So again, if I do a little bit of planning, which maybe on the final one, I'll cut something out the way I need to have it. And then you can put the trees and you cut all the way around everything. But I'll do this really quickly. I'm going to add, these I'm going to color. I feel like there's supposed to be snow on these, but if you use the fat end, it's really fast. The faster I am, though, the quieter I am. The other thing, if you happen to have in your old stash, because again, if you've been around for 22 years with me, we used to have snow puff paint, and basically it's snow essentially. So then it can go over top. I think I'm 92% sure you have to be a little bit careful when you're layering it over colors, because I think it kind of soaks up the color underneath. So it is better if you don't have, you know what I'm trying to say. It's better if you don't have color underneath where you're trying to put it, but I think this hobbyists were talking about that the other day. It's bleeding. And so somebody was like, well, if you emboss over top, then of course you're easy going too. You also can have, and I think Stampin' Up's coming back out with it. I don't know where I magically think this, but white pens. Maybe I just wish. I probably dreamed it. So I'm just going to add a little tiny bit of dark in a few spots. The last time I did everything dark, so I started with the light. And honestly, I had a little moment of, oh no, I did it all green again. Oh yeah, but that looks prettier with it now because it's got some accents, hey? So I do like the blends for a little accenting. I'm doing it very quickly. Would I do it a little bit carefuler if I was thinking you were not tired of watching me color? Probably. But there we go. And then with your Wink Castella, you also do have to be just a little bit careful because it also activates the wet and so can also push. But I think like it's just snow, so it's not like it needs to be perfectly where we pretend like it's supposed to be. Thankfully, hopefully, because I have a lot of spots that are not proper there. Cut these guys out and then we're on to the scene building. So there is not dies for this. I'm not lazily, some people who are definitely not fussy cutters won't like this set because of that. But they would not call me being lazy not using the dies. They actually think that die cutting is the lazy one. I actually think fussy cutting's lazier. I do love our dies like crazy. That's my copper. I thought, did I poke myself with my sharp scissors? Did I actually stick it in the drawer and put my finger on it? No. Some of our dies are so delightful. And in fact, Unbounded Love, for instance, I 100% bought it for the dies. I love, love, love our dies. And I love this cleverness of them that they didn't just do shapes for them. But I have to say that, like for these little trees, if there was a die, honestly, by the time I line them up, tape them down, and then they don't go through quite right, so I'm still cutting one side of them, although cutting one side better than cutting all the way around. So again, I'm fussy with my die cutting, and so I do fix it up, and it is easier to just fix them up than it is to, but anyways, when it's a pretty straight cut like this, I prefer just to cut it anyways. And same, the houses are super easy. So this is a great set to not have dies is what I'm trying to say. That's the long and short of it. All right, let's get a card going here. Are y'all still with me? Yuletide Village just came today. Yay, Jane. You can be creating this weekend. Oh, thanks, Betty. Perfect. Yeah, get on those lemon loaves. Lemon loaves, or what's more seasonal this time of year? An apple. I saw a really good recipe for an apple, like apple chunks in a loaf that I thought about making. Okay, I have to tell you guys, honestly, I'm going to put this guy in, but I'm going to put him in with just a little piece. Sometimes, I don't know if you've seen it, but if I have to have the card sort of looking like it's standing up, if you need a little placer, I put a little tiny piece of Scotch tape sometimes behind some of this stuff, and then that's when I'm sticking them in. That way then he's pretty easy. Generally speaking, it doesn't like it because I take it off pretty quick. He'll hold its place, but he's not going to stay in this village, I don't think. I like him. I'm going to make a whole nother card with a village of these colors, and I'm really... Did anybody answer me about this? I don't think you did. What, like, to just go ahead and suspend reality and put yellow on everything? Or do you change the color and be like, no, that's not going to work. No, I don't like it no more. That's exactly the way I am with that. I was so excited about making my purple house. But he's winking. I am just going to add some yellow. Fine. I might stamp one. I could almost do it with that guy that I'm not going to use and color in the things and see. Okay, so I need a piece of paper. And have a little drink for a second, talk amongst yourselves. I just have to get some dimensions going here so I get this going right. I'm on the fly. I know the idea I want. I just need to visually see one. That is not it, but that could kind of work. Ooh, kind of, yep. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so I need to have a piece of paper, and I'm going to do it pool party, I think. And all right, you guys are going to learn a whole little fancy card. 5.5 by 8.5. So if you want to cut along with me, I'm cutting a 5.5 by 8.5 piece. So basic card. Don't score it yet though, because we're going to do something fancy with it. And we're going to do it on a wing. because this is not the one that I completely wanted to do, but we'll make it work. There it is. Yes, you could have a drink if you were thinking. My cutter was slightly out of place, but I had just seen it. So, all right, who's with me? Are we ready? Hi, Marianne. How are you doing? Hello, hello. I was thinking of you big time. Just saying. Hoping everything's good. All right. Oh, I love, look at this. This is just gorgeous. Once I move that guy away. Whoa. Okay, that's a card all by itself. So if you have to run, I don't know what time it even is. Oh my gosh, it's 9 o'clock and I'm just starting a card. Okay, if you have to run, this is your card. Ta-da! I'm not actually completely teasing. That can be a card. That is stinking beautiful. Okay, so that could be totally your card. So if you are on the run, if you want to stick around, I'm going to cut this into a shape. Da-da-da-da. I love it. Oh my gosh, somebody snapshot that one. Freeze frame that. That's really nice. All right, here we go. So we are going to take this little guy and we're going to put a couple slices in him. What? Yeah, we're going to go crazy. Yeah, we are. Just a minute. Got a ruler. One moment, please. We are going to cut from 3 1/4. I got to get this kind of precise. Hang on, 3 1/4 down to 7 1/2. I like it. Okay, I'm going to come in here at 1 inch and I'm going to cut from 3 1/4. So if yours is like mine and starting to wear out, you can put a little piece of white paper in here so you can see a little tiny bit better. But I'm going to come in at 3 1/4 and I will zoom you in just a little tiny bit right now while I'm doing this. And then move this so you can see. So right here, there's a 3. I can see it's half of a 3 because they're really worn down. But 3 1/4, and I'm going to cut down. So this is all squared up. So don't let that deceive you. 3 1/4 down to 7 1/2. So I'm going to come down all the way to here. So I'm going to push in there and slide down to 7 1/2. Now I want to do a little side step card. So I'm going to not do. If you want a center fold one, you go over to another inch. I'm going to do this one off center. I'm going to come in here and do the same thing, but I'm going to just come in. If this is 5 1/2, I'm going to come to 2 and see what that looks like. So I am just random again. So I'm staying at the 7 1/2, poking it down, and I'm going to cut up. If your blade is weird, go back up to 3 1/4, but I'm going to go back up to 3 1/4. So I'm going to have 2 slices like that, okay? And then I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to score along at basically, this is probably 1 inch is my guess. 7 1/2 to 8 1/2. Yeah, for sure it is. And I'm going to score not all the way along it, just on the outside edges, okay, up to the cut lines. So I'm bring in my scores. Get rid of your blades. You're not using your blades ever again. So just down to the 1 inch and then over here all the way. So on the outside, and then again, I'm 92% sure I want this 1 more inch up. I will push this. I need to turn it around. Sorry to confuse you guys. But so I was at 1 inch. Now I'm going to 2 inches. And I'm going to score these 2 up to the line as well. Scoring. Okay. Make sure it's right there at the 2. When you're making folded cards, it's important to be a little bit proper, not willy-nilly like me. And then I'm going to come up and I'm going to come to the 4 1/4 that we usually score at. But you're not going to score all the way across. You're just going to cut or score between the lines. Again, no cutting. Okay, score between the lines. And then you're going to come up to the top. So at the 7 1/2. Pull this out. 7 1/2. Oh, no. Ha! Ignore that. 5 1/4. Ooh. Hang on 1 second. Let me double check this. It is 5 1/4. Oh, let me just double check it's not 5 1/2. We were making a fancy card last night. 5 1/4. And we were having a heck of a time between, not last night, Wednesday night, between. So you're going to be on the outside of the lines again. So just one score in between. All the rest are on the outside. And I knew I was wrong with that because I knew that I wanted score lines at the start of the slits and at the end, one extra score line, and then this guy is going to have a whole little bend. When you go to fold this right now, you just need to coax it a little tiny bit. Oh, Jane, it's 11 p.m. Oh, you might have to catch me on the replay. I forget my Ohio friends. Connie is in the same boat, basically. I'm glad that you caught me. All right, so when you go to fold these, you're gonna just kind of work a couple different ones and figure out, okay, what naturally. Now, as I'm folding this, I see this one wants to fold this way. Yay, that's nice. And you just be a little bit patient. That one's going to come up. And so just work them, each one a little tiny bit. Don't get crazy. None of them are going to fold perfectly right off the bat. And then all of a sudden, all of it will fold, okay? Once it starts to be really folded, then you can bring in your burnisher, your bone folder, and go from there. Hang on 1 second. Have a good game. Have a drink because I can't find my bone folder. Where's my bone folder? And this is a little bit of a sidestep card. Funny, I can't do it from this side. I generally would have had my sidestep on the other side, but there it is. This it's fun when I'm on the flow. I have no idea where my bone folder is. You guys, I started out with 2 of them. And now I have none. I actually have 4. All right, what is the stand-in when you don't have a bone folder? Yeah. Hopefully your edges are clean. This is also a really brilliant time. I just had that. If you have a piece of paper, if you put it on, you'll protect your card stock a little bit in case this is dirty or such. It actually helps it from getting the shine, even with a regular bone folder. And I would like to do this little guy too. I don't think I did him yet. And I didn't essentially do this guy. There's no way to really do him except like this. So he's out like a little millimeter. And I'll just show you that it doesn't matter. I think generally speaking, you like him to be perfect, but he doesn't need to be perfect. And it still all works like right. So he's standing up nicely. Can you see that? And I don't need to have you quite so close. All right. So what I was going to show you, this is, can you see that it's just, I mean, it's an 1/18 of an hair out like it, but it just doesn't matter. And my whole thing, surprisingly, is also, I'll tell you what, when the person gets this in the mail, they're not going to be like, oh, look, she didn't quite get that. Oh, I should fight that a little tiny bit. Could I fight it? Yeah, but do I need to? No. They're going to pull it out and they're going to stand it up and be so happy. So I'll show you this little card that I have because I'm not going to put all the, there. This is the one little guy that I just worked from. And then you can open it up and you can put your inside like that too, right? And he sits so beautifully. And so this guy, I want to build up a scene. And again, I might not finish because we're late. But basically, I'm going to have a piece of white here. I'm going to put, so I can trim this down. But I might have him here. I mean, he should be the one there, right? So I might save him for another day too. Because what I'd like to do is have a piece of white paper and stamp the white. So I will measure up the inch and then I would stamp him here and then I would cut along and then have him cut out and then I'll have that as my first base kind of, right? But that being shy of that, I have all sorts of little pieces of white paper. So I'll just bring in some so that you can see what this is going to look like. And then I'm going to have a little bit of snow back here as well. So I could have a whole, If you have that snow embossing folder, that would be really nice to emboss a panel and have a little panel with snow embossing on here. And then you can build up your scene. So again, we'll have, seriously, I must have one piece of paper that's long enough for this game. No. There. So I'll tuck him in here. And then this little house can go here. And so I'll have to trim. Of course, he can't be like that, but I'm pretty sure that I'll have him there. And then I can just have some trees. And they're, to show what this looks like. So some of the pieces, depending on what you're doing, you can have some on the back here. And you can also put a little tree, which I almost lost, so then you'd almost have been able to have a little drink. But you can also put the little tree right there. And so in this case, I just, so you can see, sticking this down really pedantically fast. Not pedantically, really, really fast. No pedantic about it. And this tape, I'm just lucky, I guess, most of the time. Plus, I know I'm going to cover it up eventually. So if it tears one piece or the other, it's not the end of the world. Because he's going to get covered up, right? So long as when you're taking him off, you're careful that you don't pull off the whole thing. You'll be in fine shape. Tuck him in here. I will put him on a dimensional for true. And then have him sitting here. And look how cute this is. So then it's a good thing I didn't glue him down like that, because he obviously, you need to have him so that he's sitting the way he should be. So I don't know if you can see that. I'm just going to, don't be scared by my mess. Look how nice that is. Dun, 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 dun. Don't be scared. That's perfect. Yay! All right, so now when it goes to replay, you'll be able to go back and slow down my cutting and get the numbers and whatnot so that you can do that card yourself, okay? Because I think he's really fun. I literally, I think I said the number that I did it at. This guy had a wider front, so it depends on what you kind of want. I have 1 inch on either side, and then he was the whole thing. I kept it. I wanted a little bit heavier chunk. I just got absolutely lucky with an amount that I had there. Whew, so lucky. I'm so happy. Okay, the other thing that where I said that's not actually working at all. So thankfully, you can't do that. You have to have him in there. Okay, I was wrong. This is a slant, so don't build up on there. I was totally wrong with that. And good thing we're showing this, because as I was building that, when it opens up, so when it closes, he disappears a little tiny bit. But again, nobody's holding on to this card and going, oh, that's lovely. They're holding on to it like this right off the bat. Immediately, they're holding it like this, and they're going to go inside and read their little note in here. So, right? So there it is. Nice. So I'll end up with a background of some kind. I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do. But yeah, build this up so that when you open it, take a peek and make sure that it's correct. Because yes, they get buried when you're looking at it like this, but when it's standing up, what do you want it to look like on the mantle? That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. All right, that was a fun Friday. Sorry I was a little bit long. Coloring takes a while. Plus, you got to see, if you're wondering what I did, because I obviously couldn't have been coloring that long. If you missed the beginning, I went through a whole kit of the little tiny looking back kit with a little pink book. So you can either fast forward through that or enjoy that part too. All right, I will talk with you later. This is called sort of like a sidestep card if you're looking for more instructions. But yeah, you can pop back and go from there. Have a wonderful weekend, you guys. I'm gone next week, so I won't be on until Thursday, and I will be 11 o'clock Mountain Time, because Keisha and I are going to do the live from her place. We'll be doing the Techniques D Don't know what it'll be. What do you guys think it's going to be? I think there's a post coming up on that day, or maybe next week. I think on Monday or Tuesday, there's going to be a post asking, what do you think D is going to be? So you can put your comment in there, and that'll be kind of fun. And there it is. All right. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. I do love making cards, and it makes it more fun when you're with me. So there it is. I will see you guys next Thursday. Take care and be good. There's lots of videos you can watch while I'm gone if you're missing me. All right. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.